Big option here today. We've been having a bit of a cutout there. Apologies. I think we're all sorted though.
Here we go.
As we now wait for the lights to get underway. You've got 4 lights now. As you wait for them to illuminate, they're slowly getting there now. As the engine levels rise, and now there's attention. As we're away, for goodness sake, are immediately dancing out there. Well, Devil Beverly needs a good start today after suffering last time out. He wants to make up for it in this one. Let's see. Look, that was 4 wide into the first corner. And as Mergia with Roboys and Crash MF, and there's contact. And 4Banger has been the sufferer of that. 4Banger has lost the lead. He's all the way down the field, suffering in a round. I think it's P9 at the most, P8 now, to just overtaking Damien. And a penalty there for the man who caused it all, Mergia 88. As the rest of the field force their way through the next few corners, it's been very key at the start of this race to make sure you get off to a good start. And I think that unfortunately it wasn't the case for poor 4Banger at 95 as oh, he's got to go to the inside there. That's going to be quite risky, in fact. He tried anyway. Crash HMF sticking with him as he tries to overtake. Now it's key. He's got to be very careful into that very tight left-hander. It's a very difficult apex to get right with one car, let alone 2 or 3 going side by side. Let's take a look what the view is like at the corkscrew. It's Zeisme who leads the field at the moment. And Rolls Boyce has gone very wide indeed. He's completely missed the corner as they come out of it. So it's Zeisme, Belinas, Mergia. Now it's Key, 4Banger, Crash, Nathan, Damien, and then the rest of the guys as well. With a big loss there ready for Devil. Find himself right at the very back of the field. Not gone well at all for him in this opening lap. And as the field dart their way through, there is Rolls Boyce at the inside of Mac as well. Oh, bit of contact actually there. Who's in the pit lane? Someone's completely missed. And that is Mergia 88 missing his drive-through penalty. But he's requested for a pit stop. That is, oh, he's hit the pits again. And he's spun it in the pit lane. And I'm wondering if that is a retirement. I think that could be our first retirement. Indeed it is. So Mergia 88 is the first man to retire from Laguna Seca here today, with the rest of the Evos still battling very hard right now. And take a look at that as well. That was Damien Black getting up close and personal there with Nathan Alpha, and now Rolls Boyce fancying a bit of the action. Belinas is not that far away at all, actually into P2. So a great climb there by Belinas. He didn't have a great qualifying, but his race start has been something truly different. He's up into P2, only a second away from Zeisme at the moment. I don't see why he can't challenge for a win today. Only on that 2 out of 11, still a lot can happen yet. As now it's Key, tries to battle with Crash HMF. Crash going to go round the outside of the corkscrew, and he may want to back out of that one. That is a very risky pass. Risky enough on 2 wheels, let alone on 4. As Nathan Alpha and Rolls Boyce again look close together. Nathan out the inside, and he's able to get the pass done. Rolls Boyce there as well. They're still side by side, reluctant to get that away right now. They really are taking this to a whole new level. So Iceman, KK and Nizo as well. There's Mac. And we've got 4Bangers out of the race. Our pole sitter has actually retired from the race, and that is very peculiar. So that leaves us with 10 cars left. At the moment, we've got Zeisme and Belinas battling, 3rd and 4th battling. 5th and 6th are getting a bit closer together with the rest of the field in a big train. So Crash and now it's Key really are going to be going hammer and tong here today. And Crash just can't quite get it together. He's looked up the inside there of turn number 6, but it was never going to work through there. He's going to be a lot more cautious in the future, I think. I suppose only time will tell, but Right now it's headed towards the corkscrew again. Look at that pack of cars. Iceman 94, Nathan Alpha, Damien, KKND, and Mac 9K1. This is going to get a bit messy. I've got a bad feeling about this. Nathan goes through, Iceman, Damien, and Mac. Somehow they all make it through okay. So well played there to every single driver in that pack. Takes a great deal of respect to be able to try and thread a car through a corner such as the corkscrew while going side by side with another car. Really does. So Iceman's going to lead another lap, but he's only 10 in front of Bolinas now, so Bolinas really is applying the pressure. And as they make their way down into the first corner for the 4th time here today. Bit of a nudge from Bolinas, sets him sideways, got to be careful. In fact, he's got to be very careful. Doesn't want to do too many of those, he will risk receiving a penalty. It's one thing for close racing, I think that was very unintentional, but even so, Bolinas goes a bit wide there. And Nathan Alpha's out the pit lane. I'm wondering if that was for a pit stop or for damage or something, but Damien on the inside of Mac as well. That's getting close. That is for P. That's right at the back of the field, in fact. P15 and 14 now battling over right now, and you can imagine it's getting very tense between those guys. 2 Black Evos, Damien at the inside of Mac, and he's got the job done. I mean, he's right by them as well, trying to make it 3 wipeouts, and that was not going to be successful. He backs out of it, but he locks the car up. And that's a mirror of what Devil Bevan did last time around. Now, where's Devil Bevan got to anyway this race? I don't think he actually started the race. He made a good start, which is what was imperative of him, and he hasn't actually appeared since. Damien again up the inside this time. Damien and Max still, now they're getting very up close and personal, aren't they, on the run down into the first corner. Damien on the inside and back on the outside. Nice undercut there, defensive manoeuvre from Damien. He deserves a position just for that manoeuvre alone. Cut back underneath after realising he wasn't going to get it. Signed, sealed, delivered. That's put in your post box. And Damien Black is now up into P14, I believe. PA, beg your pardon, sorry, my standings are only just updated. That was a bit of an error there. So these guys are battling over P9 and P8 at the moment. As Mac tries to go back through, and Damien swiftly shutting that door. He's not really taking any risks here today. And look at the battle just having fun as well. Crash. And that is now it's Kiwi and Rolls boys as well. The 3 musketeers, if you will, fighting their way. They're just over halfway through this race now, so about 5.5 laps left to go. And now you can see, now it's Keys getting ready to attack up the inside, and I think Rolls boys has to defend. He's got the job. Now it's Keys back through the final corner. Rolls goes off, and I wonder. No, Crash can't quite cut across, but they have made a bit of contact. And it's not Dodgems, guys. Try and keep a wheel on it there. They've got to be very careful now, this pack of 3. They've known each other for a while. And going through these sessions now, they need to try and keep their cars alive. If you take a look back down the field of that pack again, Damien and Mac, that battle's almost civilled out a little bit now. It's not quite as intense as what it was a minute ago, which is encouraging to see. We know it's not always the hardest task in the world to defend from a car. Sometimes you really do have to almost punch above your weight limit at times. You want to make sure that you can keep that car surviving, and sometimes the pressure really can bring out a second side to a driver and makes them very aware the adrenaline pumps through, and somehow they can either find 2-3 tenths a lap or they can lose 2 or 3 tenths a lap. Depends on your mindset and how much focus you have inside that cockpit. They're still going to focus. Hanuman goes off and showing us that he's not really in my best set in the world right now. Still on the lead lap, however, as Matt gets very deep and more sparks fly off the bottom of that Evo. Crash though getting very up close and personal. That's for P4. Now it's Kieran to defend again. Crash forces his way up the inside. Goes too deep. Thank you very much, Jez Key. And he able to take that position while Crash is left scratching his head as how he went so deep into that final corner. Zayas, May and Bellina still battling at the lead. We haven't checked on our leaders in a while, so let's take a rain check whilst we're on lap 7 out of 11. Bellina's up the inside, and Zayas is quick to slam the door shut. However, he's left a bit of a gap there, kicking dust now up into Bellina's face as he tries to maybe get a bit of a run. Bellina's has been there all 7 laps so far. Wouldn't surprise me if he tries to do a bit more. You know he's got the pace. We know Bellina's has got quite the following here today from the fans in the Simraceway chat. If you want to get involved in the Simraceway chat and post pre-race and everything in between, then head over to simraceway.com/chat, and you too can find yourself perhaps in a Sunday race off or talking to the drivers that you're watching right now. And I might even pop over and say hello as well, but keep an eye on the chat. There's a lot of fight right now about Bellina's. They wanted to try and take that position. He's desperately trying, and Zayas making more and more mistakes. In towards the final corner. I think he may make another. Bellina's is waiting, playing the waiting game. And I think he may have got on the throttle a little bit earlier. They cross the line, lap 8 out of 11, so 4 laps to go. Into turn 1, Bellina's almost got one going around the outside there, and they really are leaving it all out on the tarmac right now. We're only on lap number 8 out of 11, and these drivers are giving us the race of a lifetime. So Bellina's again, though, trying to get on the assault, and it's not quite working at the moment. Let's see what he can do on the run towards a corkscrew. Got a couple of corners yet. He just needs a really good exit of 1 or 2 of them. And I may, just may, plant him in the position he needs. Right, let's see then what Bellina's can do. He's not able to make anything at the moment of the competition he's had. He's doing everything in his power, but Zayas doing a very nice job at defending the inside line. Across the start-finish line they come once again, and still Zayas in the lead. Let's take a look back now. See if there's any other battles brewing on the circuit at the moment. It's all settled down, I think, for the moment. KKND is getting a little bit closer, perhaps. Damien Black's also made progress. He's all over the back of the red Evo now. Let's see what he can bring to the table as this race comes into its final couple of stages. And look at Mac as well. So Mac is now attacking Iceman 94. And Iceman's been doing a very Iceman-esque drive here today. Very quiet, very subtle. but still very much getting the job done. We've only got roughly 3 laps to go until the end of the race now. I think it really is easy to see just what these drivers have inside them, what skills they possess, what drive they have, what that possesses them to really push these cars beyond all doubts. And now Mac 9K1 all over the back of Iceman, effectively bump drafting him on the run out to turn number 7. Gets the apex quite nicely there. Bit of a lag bump, I think, but it keeps him on the circuit. As they come into the corkscrew for what will be the third to last time today. And is trying to keep an eye on the cars behind as well at the moment, but it's looking like KKND is going to lose out a little bit of time there because Damien Black is getting very close. That pack of 4 cars getting a lot closer again. Let's just see what can happen from here. And into turn 1, Iceman's gone a bit wide, and is that going to allow Mac 9K1 around the outside? Yes, it is. He's trying, but he's been pushed out again, and he's lucky not to lose the back end. As though he's got a crash, and now his gear's battling as well, so battles really starting to form all around the circuit. The lead, though, still kind of under tails for a moment. No real advancement on there. Has crashed now, looking to the inside. I think he's on good enough run through a corkscrew. Now it's Kiewa to hold his ground, won't go too deep now. He knows what it's like through there to go too deep. And there's a pack of cars behind, which Iceman is leading at the moment. It really is like the Iceman glacier you've got forming. As Mac 9K1 gets very loose, and off into the background goes KND. And KKN just gets the corner all wrong. And exactly what I was referring to earlier, that corner alone has claimed so many drivers' races in the past. And Damien's hit Mac, and that is not going to go well. Those guys have been hammer and tong all race, in fact. But as they made their way to start their final lap of the action here, let's just see if he has a bit of a run. So I think Damien Black could be the man to maybe put this battle at rest now. He's been after it for a while. As we take a look back upfield, then Bolinas gets very close to Zeismay. We had to finish this to the line, then the battle for the lead is about to come to a bubbling climax. Bolinas trying to again go at the inside of Zeismay, and he couldn't quite make it go. Desperately at the inside by now. Bolinas everything he can. Zeismay with perfect car positioning. And he's going to try the inside of the corkscrew. Careful not to hit him. And he doesn't, but I think he's off time. He needs a big run coming out of the next 2 corners. Cuts him a little bit. 2 corners to go in the entire race. Who's going to be the winner of the Sunday race-off? Can Bolinas pull one out the bag? He's got the run to the final corner. He can't go to the inside. Surely he's gone for it. The final corner on the final lap, but he's gone wide. He's gone too wide. And Zeismay holds on. And it's going to be Zeismay who takes the victory. It came down to the very end. Zeismay wins from Bolinas. Third, it's a very confident drive there from Ross Boys. 4th place will be now it's Keith 410. 5th place Crash HMF. 6th will be the Iceman. We believe to hold up in front of Mac 9K1 and Damien Black, those guys who are still effectively side by side at the moment. You can't separate them at all, but they'll cross the line astern, and KKND will follow suit behind in P9. P10 was going to go to Hanuman, and P11 will go to Nathan Alpha. Oh my goodness me, this has been an absolutely brilliant race. It came right down to the end. Best thing is you've still got 2 more longer races as well coming up for you very shortly. So if you like what you've seen here, be sure to stick around, guys. There's plenty more where that come from. So from myself, Liam Jenkins, thank you very much for watching this edition of the Sunday Race Off. Get yourself some food, get yourself some drink, because it's going to be a long, long night full of entertaining and exciting racing right here in the heart of the Laguna Seca.